Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're all having a fabulous day here today. We got something pretty fun to talk about. So, as you all know, we're kicking into the fact that it's been a few days of Red Hood. I wanted to talk about the situation we currently have and a lot of the reviews that I finally got. And I wanted to show you all of their, like where I found them, and again, some of them that are pretty helpful and give really good consensus of what's happening with this character. I also want to tell you when to expect the buff, because people were like, oh, it's all over, we're not getting the buff now, because we didn't get it post the weekend, but it wasn't supposed to happen on that point. I don't know why that was like a thing that we had in our minds. It wasn't completely, we knew that, but people didn't somehow. So today, let's jump into it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's hop into it and let's see what we're cooking up here. But first, let's do this real quick. This is the video that I uploaded. It was a great run, boys, but it's finally come to an end. Basically, that I summoned on the Summer Neon banner, and with everything that I had saved up, because I said I like the character, and I did not get her for the life of me. That was how many multis? 20,000 gems and like 5 saved advanced recruit vouchers, so it was a lot. But this video was uploaded or published on, I just combined the word, June 21st. So that's when the character released, because I summoned on it day 1. And when did we get her buffed? June 28th. So it takes 7 days, right? This character released on a Wednesday and got buffed on a Wednesday. That's kind of how the process goes. The patch notes and everything released the same day on Wednesday. So realize that now, as soon as the patch notes came out, the game got updated and the character got buffed. So if you were to expect a buff, you're expecting it on Wednesday. Post Wednesday, well, we're gonna have some issues here because there's no precedent beyond that. But again, this could be the first time thing. It takes time to obviously buff a character, especially a character like Red Hood. They do not want to mess it up because they want to kind of appease the community right now. People are very furious, but that's there. So again, realize June 28th is around the date where it happened last time, which was 7 days. So again, 7 days is like the benchmark we have. Post that, we'll just wait up a little bit. It is the first any character. So again, don't want to trigger people. That's quickly the point there. Also, this happened, again, I don't know exactly why this was the case, but FYI, the official Reddit sub just unpinned the discussion thread about Red Hood, and this comment basically summed up what I thought. Either they got enough feedback about the proper, and will make some proper adjustments, or they pulled the thread early to avoid prolonged negative reception on their anniversary unit with the influx of possible new players. I can't speak today, I'm tired as hell, sorry about that, but yeah, that's also there, right? So again, I realized that on every tweet, the possible influx of new players are there, correct? Players asking questions, stuff like that. And then every tweet also has a negative reception. It's the funniest thing in the world. Every tweet has it. And I also saw like a thread over here. I don't see it now. I don't think I deleted, but it was saying that any players are just complaining to complain. And I want to make this clear. First off, being a content creator right now sucks because, God, if I say that we should buff, what is it? Summer Neon, great. I'm, again, tired today. But if I say to buff Red Hood, I'm being a terrible creator, and I'm just pushing this notion that she should get buffed and that I know nothing. And then if I don't say to buff her, I'm being a terrible creator and not doing my part to help the community. Like, I literally can't win, bro. And it's like insane how many people are getting so toxic in my comments. It is nuts, dude. So being a creator at this point sucks right now because everyone's against you. You're like, oh, you know, want her buffed? Great guy. You want her buffed? You suck, man. It's like, God, dude. But yeah, that is currently happening. But no, NA players aren't complaining. JP players are complaining too. So I don't know why people just say like, oh no, it's NA only. It's JP. I've seen many JP tweets doing this, all right? And many JP creators also coming out and saying, yeah, she kind of is mid-hood, right? And again, when we say that, so, and I also want to establish this too, when I say that she's good, she is a good unit. She is a mid-pilgrim. That is like the best way to do it. And I think I saw that somewhere also, which was like kind of going with my point here. She is, I think it was this it? I think this might have been it. I have no idea, but there's a thing like it's exactly true. She is good, but she is mid on the Pilgrim roster. You have to look at it like mid on Pilgrim is crazy for the first Annie, right? How the fudge are you doing that? Great, she's good, wonderful, but she's mid on the Pilgrim aspect. Like you're having a Pilgrim unit for your first anniversary, and she's not being able to out damage or outdo anyone in usability, survivability, and damage capability, right? You're losing how many aspects on the character who's supposed to be designed again for a jack of all trades, and she's just failing it all. It's like, what? Remember that, but I do want to read this comment. So again, prime tier list rating for Red Hood, agree or disagree. This first comment was very well written. I get the fears of power creep, but the fact is going to be at some point it's inevitable, which is true. The real issue is the rate of power creep. We don't need the meta shifting monthly or bi-monthly, but I don't see an issue with it happening annually. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's like once a year you're getting an anniversary, and every 6 months you're getting an anniversary unit, correct? Half Annie. Yes, they can be busted sometimes. Like, the whole point is to bring a celebration to the game. Players join the game, they have a broken character, so they can survive the next year until the next broken character. You know what I mean? Whatever bunnies are, they're not like out DPSing everyone in the game. No, it's like some characters are busted for support, some characters are busted for DPS. Summer Anise was there, but it's not power creep. It's a PvE content. You can't really power creep that, right? Yes, you go into like solar rain and stuff like that, but at a point, it's gonna be like where a character's broken. Like if the next collab is broken, everyone's gonna complain, nerf her, this is bullcrap, right? you can't really do anything. It's going to happen. Reminder that Modernia was a New Year's Nikke. This is what I'm saying too. Everyone was a new player around this time, and Modernia was an incredible asset for those who pulled her. She's why I personally beat the current campaign and rank high enough to get top frames in solo raid. If you build up characters in lore for a year and release for the yearly anniversary on a 1% banner, she should be SSS. Which is true. Currently, again, this is being usability. She is S for new players. She is SS on late game for players. It's kind of true, but again, you're expecting triple S from this character. This is a first Annie Pilgrim. How the fudge do you drop that? And again, or whatever personal equivalent is at least one category. Summer Anise, by the way, Summer Anise, if you don't already know, is higher than this. If I were to go to tier list, Summer Anise, triple S over here. Single S. So you have to realize, right? She has double S in 2 categories, or is it, yeah, 3 categories, and triple S in 2 categories, right? So again, kind of see the point there. Keep in mind, I don't mean that she has to surpass units like Modernia or Scarlet by leaps and bounds, or even at all, but she should be on the same level, which is very true. We've had a year to basically, basically every team building guide consisting of Litter, Scarlet, and Modernia. I like to see other units. Again, that's basically like that. Added to the list at least annually. Remember how many Nikkes drop per year? How many of them were just awful / incredibly niche too? At least when Dorothy dropped, she could be or should stand beside Litter in boss encounters. Also, even if they managed to never release another Scarlet / Modernia level Nikke again, it wouldn't change the fact that Red Hood, according to their own lore, should be at that level. You know what I mean? But Nier is too weak. They screwed her up as well, basically, right? The free-to-plays definitely got shafted here the most. Still, at least she had an in-game reason for being weak. Ironically, she works better with the other goddesses than Red Hood because she does have a 20-second cooldown. Yeah. Ouch. Anyway, claiming that people are disappointed with Red Hood. Claiming that all the people disappointed with Red Hood want every unit to be busted as being disingenuous just as much as those who are upset with Red Hood saying she's garbage. The truth is, as the tier list and actual gameplay shows, she's a great unit and a mid-pilgrim. Exactly what I'm trying to say here, correct? She's a great unit. That's it. But she's not going to be a great pilgrim. She is a mid-pilgrim, all right? That's why. In comparison to standard units, she's great. In comparison to pilgrim units, got me there. She's literally in the middle of the list. Like, literally. You have... I would still say people are going to argue about this in the comments. I can't wait for it. Snow White is on top. Solo raid players will live and die by Snow White, so I don't care what you have to say. You have, Scarlet. You have Modernia. You have, I don't know about Haran. Will Haran outrank her? Yeah, I don't know. But you have Dorothy. Dorothy's on top again there too, right? So you have those pilgrims. Those pilgrims are just built different. So realize now that kind of is the case, but again, I don't know about Haran. I don't know about that one, but let's keep going. And if you, this isn't hyperbole. If you rank the Nikkes, she's in top 10, but if you rank all the pilgrims, she's in the middle, literally mid. On a side note, I wonder what the community reaction will be if the New Year's Nikke is actually busted AF. Imagine though, the New Year's Nikke is 10 times better. You know what I mean? I wonder who it's gonna be, but in before Cinderella is as busted as Modernia. Imagine, dude. But yeah, this also was a really good comment, so I'll read this to you also. As someone who has Scarlet, Modernia, and Snow White, so I don't need Red Hood to be buffed to push comp, or rather, campaign rather. I find it pretty sad that she's not among the best choices as DPS because it means that she won't be used that much and end up being like a Haran or such. Terrible to think, considering how important she is lore-wise. Imagine if Modernia was just a decent DPS after all the hype that was around her. She changed the game and people love her for lore and kit. Imagine if there was a vote on who should get a free skin. Almost no one would pick. Yeah, no one's going to pick Red Hood if there ever was a campaign like that. It's over for her, dude. Yeah, I'm really curious what happens to that. It's a very true thing, too. If there was a award, I would give it to you, bro. It's true. Red Hood has issues, the infographic. Sorry for my speech today. I'm super tired, bro. Red Hood has issues. Now to pretense this real quick. I am not, / do not, think that Shift Up should power creep the meta every week. No one thinks that, but my comments, again, whenever I say buff Red Hood, they're like, oh, he just wants the game dead. That's why. A meta sheep, that too. A Red Hood hater thinks the Annie sucked. Exactly, the Annie's the best, bro. This is like... goated as hell minigame and everything, and no one's saying anything. Yes, the reception's currently buff Red Hood, but no one's saying that the Annie sucked. They're just saying if you don't buff Red Hood, well, that sucks. They're not saying that the Annie sucks, right? But again, etc. Red Hood just has issues. If we were to go here, Red Hood has several issues, but most of all, replaceability. Everything that Red Hood can do can be done better by other units. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now to qualify this, her kit. See her kit, it should look familiar. Every part of her kit is stitched together from other kits. It is actually fine, but it's pretty disconnected from her kit, although is pretty much everything and isn't the worst example because it does work well with her burst 3. This is again skill 1 over here. Over here, skill 2. It's confusing. Part 1 is just strange. Part 2 is Marcy's heal, but for self. Part 3 just makes Red Hood's burst more like Alice burst. Over here, again, this is over here Litter's burst, but 40-second cooldown. So it's like, you know, yikes, if you get my drift here, yikes. Moving forward, this, look at this entire thing. Marcy has skill 1, Tia skill 2, but HP stuff only works on herself, no cover or LB stuff. HP gen doesn't really help when MR train decides to die. Has a 40-second cooldown. Remember that, the 40-second cooldown also, like, screws her kit. If they took it, made a 20-second cooldown, it's different. Or at least up the multipliers, right? Decrease final attack, Y shift up Y. It's like, it's the meme, 27.8% of final attack. What? Who decided that? Like, that's disgusting. But again, Red Hood is not useless. She has uses, correct? Just again, people want to buff for different reasons. But I would recommend like to hop to the Reddit, read these posts. They're very well made. They give a great idea of what's happening here. And again, literally, my experience with the anniversary so far, being hyped for Red Hood on anniversary, reading the drama around Mid Hood. Again, it's different. Everyone has different opinions. People saying like, no, this is good, this is fine. You have to realize you waited one year for a unit like this. You got a unit that's worse than the unit that was released at the 3-month mark, the 6-month mark. How is that possible? It's just, how is that possible? But yeah, it's bound to happen, right? Next year, Andy could suck too. So, in before that happens. I'm kidding.